Moïse Tibasima's advanced database video recording. I begin by creating the customer booking database. I then use the customer's database. Here I create the customer's table. It includes the customer's ID, first name, last name, nationality, email, sex, and age. I forgot to add a constraint to ensure that it's a valid email. Here I add the constraint to ensure that the email has the @ symbol in it, as well as characters before and after. Here I've created the constraint and altered the table. I create a table for leisures. It has a leisure ID, the name of the leisure activity, its description, and price. I then create an agent's table. I have the agent's ID, their name, first name, and last name. I then created a table for bookings. It has from date to date, the amount that's charged, and foreign keys that link to the previous tables. The foreign keys are customer ID, leisure ID, and booking agent ID. Here I've created the table. Here I add customers into the customers table. I use the insert into command. I then retrieve the data to ensure that it is present. I then add the details for the leisure activities. I retrieve data for that. I created an I insert data into the agents table. I ensure that the data is present. I then inserted customer bookings. I retrieved the data. Here I updated the bookings table to put in the amount, to calculate the amount charged. I used timestamp diff command to get the hour from date and to date, and then multiplied it by price. I did this for all the customers. I retrieved the data from bookings. I ensure it's there. I added a location to the leisures table. I then updated the table with different locations. For my business requirement, I created this command to check for double bookings. There are in total 6 customers who've double booked. I have their booking number for each customer, the dates they booked for, the leisure ID, name, and customer ID. For my question 2, I create the orders data table. I then inserted into it a random value. I then generated a random data set for 120,000 records. Here I randomly generated user IDs, 15,000. Here I created an array for different product descriptions and randomly selected from them for each order. I created random values for the units sold. Here is random units prices. Here are the random dates I created, in total 120,000. Here I calculated the total revenue. Here I calculated the product. Here I selected the average revenue per unit sold. Here is the total revenue generated per day for the last 7 days. Here I created indexes for order date. Here were indexes for user ID. I then retrieved data to ensure the table is here. I used explain analyze here. And here I selected the high value orders which exceeded 2,000 euros. There are about 75,019 high value orders.